Today's recipe, another easy pork chop recipe. Country style pork chops over hash brown in the Ninja FOOdi. Stick around. All right, so I've got the Ninja FOOdi already preheated, about 400 degrees for 10 minutes. I shredded up some potatoes, probably one large one or a couple of small ones. Here I've got all-purpose flour, some cornstarch, salt and pepper. Now the pork chop, I've got thin pork chops that have been marinating in some buttermilk with some seasoning, some paprika, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and they're sitting off their side here just to come to room temperature. And we'll talk about those there in just a few minutes. Let's get started with the hash brown. I'm just going to mix up all these ingredients in the flour, and I'm going to take maybe about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons worth, and get that into the shredded potatoes. When you shred the potatoes, put them in some cold water, a little bit of salt, a little dab of vinegar too, and rinse them out until the water's clear. Then you want to squeeze out any of the water, make sure they're absolutely dry, and then we're going to coat them in this flour cornstarch mixture. Okay, so we want to make sure everything's coated nicely because that's going to give us a nice crispy hash brown. Not that the air fryer won't get it crispy, but we want to make sure we hedge our bets here. Now you can add any other seasoning in there that you like. You want to add some cheeses and things like that, that's fine. I'm keeping it simple for today. So I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil in here. Okay, just so we get it nice and sticky, get the consistency to stick together. And we want to make sure we coat all that flour, so we don't want none of that flour, being raw. Getting that white powder. In air fryers, you're going to run into some of that. We got that all in here. I've got a liner that I'm going to use at the base of this air fryer, just to, again, making sure that it's not going to stick. I'll be able to pull it out afterwards. Into the bottom here. And I want to spread it out as best I can, just to make a nice even layer. Okay. And I'm pressing it down a little bit just so everything kind of sticks together. It's okay if you have loose edges, because those loose edges will get nice and crispy for you. They'll be like little potato chips. They'll come out really nice. They're all down and pressed nice and tight. I'm going to close the top, start it up, and we're going full power at 400 degrees. We'll start at 20 minutes, and we're going to take a look at it. We may not flip it depending on how if the base gets it nice and crispy on these Ninja FOOdis, it'll do that. It will be fine with that. If we have to, I'll let you know once I pull it out here, and I'll bring you back when it's time for those pork chops. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. The hash browns are pretty much done. They're still sizzling in there. Okay, there we go. I'll get that back in there. Okay, as you can see that's got a nice soft right here. I mean, it's all cooked, and then you have some nice crispy edges here, which like potato chips. Fantastic. So the next thing, let's just put this aside to cool a little bit. Next thing we're gonna do is these pork chops. Now, like I said, these are thinly cut pork chops, probably ½ inch. They were sitting in some buttermilk and seasoning. I just patted them dry, added a little bit of oil, olive oil on them. All right, so we're just going to get it in there, press it down like that. Let's get this over. So we're just going to press that down, give it a flip. And they don't have to be overly floured. I'm just trying to make sure that I get it completely covered. That's going to help give us that crust. Okay, give it a shake. Okay, and if you see, I don't know if you can see how it curls like that. So a good trick to that is to cut little corner like that. So that'll keep it from curling too much. So we're just going to take that, put that in the air fryer. Make sure we have enough space for the second one. Okay, soak up some of that oil on both sides here. And again, you want to just make sure you get it coated. It doesn't have to be real thick. It's a really light coating. Make sure you get the edges. Now the edges help. All right, shake off the excess and get it in here. All right, so now it's just about cooking it. And we're going to close that. I wouldn't spray it right now because I think the juices from the meat are going to come out anyway, so I don't think you're going to get a lot of that flour. If you start seeing that, then you can always hit it with a little bit of a oil spray. So we're going to go full temperature, 400 degrees, and I think we're only going to need about 8 minutes or so. You know, once they're done and crispy, nice and crispy, got a nice crust on it, we're pretty much done. These aren't going to take long to cook at all. Bring you back when these are done, and we'll plate it up. We'll give it a taste. The pork chops are done here, so let's open that up. I did flip them, and I gave it, after about 5 or 6 minutes, I flipped it, gave it another 6 minutes, because I wanted it nice and crispy. So they might be a little overdone, but you know, if you want to get them nice and crisp, you want to get a nice coating on it. You got to kind of let them ride out a little bit. So let's get that on here like that. Nice. Let's grab this other one here and get that on here like that. Now that looks nice. It even smells fantastic. So I'm just going to garnish it with a little bit of green onion here. Traditionally, you make a gravy. You make a gravy for this meal, like a country fried steak or country fried pork or anything like that. You probably have like a beef gravy, a chicken gravy or something like that, or a white flour gravy. I'm just going to use a little ranch because we got a lot going on here, and the ranch works good with the hash browns too. So just gonna give it a little, squirt. That's it. Yeah, there we have it. All right, so let's dig in and give this a taste here. Now, I love these hash browns. They just come up really, really crispy. So you get that nice crunch. Kind of offsets the softer meat. So let's just take a bite of that. It's like having potato chips underneath the pork chop. Really good. So just cut a piece. Got some of that. This. Has a nice flavor. It's light. It's not heavily fried, so it has a nice light flavoring to it, light crust. The hash browns, like I said, give it a nice crunch at the base. You get the potato chip type texture. Really good. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try. If you do, let me know in the comments section below. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed so you can watch more of these videos. Hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.